All right, hello amazing students. We're going to be going over Pretake for Math 7, starting with question 1. So if you have version 1, we're going to go over version 1 first. And if you have version 2, we're going to go over version 2 second. Just a heads up, in about 8 minutes, there is going to be a noise that might sound familiar, but it won't be what you think it is, okay? So be ready for that. All right, for number 1, I needed to see plus and minus tiles for number 1. So if it says 6 minus -4 minus 2, I needed to see 6 plus tiles. Then right here, this part right here, that minus -4, what that means is you have to remove 4 negative tiles. Do we have 4 negative tiles? The answer is no, so we have to add 0 pairs. Once we have those 0 pairs, I can take those 4 and place them in the trash because it says minus -4. Did I just remove 4 negative tiles right there? Yes. Lastly, we have this part right here, which says -2. So there's 2 ways to do this. You could subtract 2 and take these 2 and put in the trash if you want to. But I just add these 2 negative tiles, and I'm going to create something called, what? 0 pairs. Check this out. If there are 2 positives and 2 negatives, that means there is a 0 pair. Okay, so that means they're gone. All right, and how many tiles are left? Look at all the plus tiles that remain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 tiles remain. So the correct answer for this one should be yes, write down equals 8. Okay, for number 2, it says a bag of Flaming Hot Cheetos weighs 8.5 ounces. How many ounces of snack do you consume if you eat 3 1/4 bags? Since this says standard 2D, you can read that standard 2D says product. What does product mean? Yeah, I did see some people adding and some people subtracting, but if you're consuming multiple bags, what you're actually doing is multiplying. So you could use any method that you wanted to do, but if you use the method of the rectangle like this, then you should have gotten these numbers. 8 times 3, 24. 3 times a half is 3 halves. 8 times a fourth is 2. And 1/4 times a half is 1/8. What do we do next? I have this inside area. I'm going to go ahead and add them all up. 24 plus 2, I know is 26. And then for these 2 fractions, I need to have like terms. Again, my pace might be going a little bit fast. Remember, this video will be posted on Google Classroom or shared with you, and what you can do is rewatch it at a slower pace. If you need to go over problems, you can skip over the ones that you want and rewatch it at your own time, okay? But for this one, we have like terms. We're gonna get 12 plus 1 is 13. Notice these numbers show up here. And then if we add these 2 fractions, or this fraction and this whole number together, we're going to get 27 with a remainder of 5. So the correct answer is 27 5/8. Okay, we're going to move on to number 3. Number 3 says to convert the following fractions into decimal and state if it's terminating or repeating. So what you needed to do, I did see some students doing 5 divided by 4, and you were on the right track, but this is 4 divided by 5. So make sure that you have your fraction in the correct order, okay, your division in the correct order. So if we divide 4 by 5, we get 0.8, which is terminating. A little different was 7 divided by 99. That one was much harder, right? It was more difficult. But if we divide it using the division method shown at right here, we will get 0.0707 because the remainder keeps on repeating as a 7. So that means that we get the same repeating answer of 0.07. Remember, if it repeats, make sure to put a bar. Put a bar over not only the 7, but a bar over the 0.7, because that's what repeats every single time. 0.7, 0.7. Okay. Number 4. Number 4 says, on her morning jog, Barbie runs 2.3 kilometers. We can say north or to the right. And then she turns around and runs 5.42 in the opposite direction. What I needed you to do for this problem was something very carefully. Write it as an addition problem. You can probably see this as subtraction, right? But how do you write 2.30 minus 5.42 as subtraction? Let me give you a quick example. On the left here, you can write it down if you want to. If I say 5 minus 4, how do we write 5 minus 4 as a addition problem? Because that's what's asking us to do. We'd say 5 plus negative 4. That's the same as 5 minus 4, and we'd get the same answer of 1. Okay, so can we turn any subtraction problem we want into a addition problem? The answer is yes. So the correct addition problem should have been 2.30 plus negative 5.42. And if you subtract those correctly, you'll get 3.12. But remember, distance is always positive. So the distance right here, if you subtract it correctly, would be 3.12. 3.12, and since it says to write your answer as a complete sentence, we will write that she is 3.12 away from her starting point. And that would be the correct answer. Okay, just a heads up, remember there's going to be a noise in the next minute or two, probably about 2 minutes from now. That noise is the bell, okay? So just a heads up, if you hear the bell, it's from the video, okay? Here we go, number 5. Number 5 is going to be a GEMDOS problem. GEMDOS means we're gonna need to use the order of operations. So what goes first, addition or multiplication? According to this, multiplication goes before addition. So if we did this correctly, we'll get 14 times 1/7 is 2. 9 times 5 is 40. And after we do that, we can go ahead and add up all of those numbers. So correct answer for number 5 was 42. Remember, this is for version 1. Okay. Number 6. Number 6. This one is a fundraising problem. There are students that are going to be selling multiple tickets. That means we're going to be multiplying a lot. So 2 students sold 5 tickets at $3.25 each. Multiply those 3 numbers. In blue, we have 3 students sold 4 tickets at $3 each. And we're going to need to add that up as well after we multiply. All right, we're going to get $32.50 for that first one. And for this multiplication, we get 36. Let me explain this one really quickly. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 3, $3, would be 36. Now adding up both totals, we're gonna get $68.50. All right, just a heads up, there is going to be a noise in the next couple of moments here. Yes, there it is. Ignore that, that is part of the video. All right, now we're gonna go over version 2. Version 2 has some different answers, but we're gonna explain it really quickly as well, okay? So for number 1, in version 2, we have 5 minus negative 3 minus 4. So I'd like for you to start with 5 one-tiles. This right here means we have to remove 3 negative tiles. To do that, I have to add 0 pair. I'm gonna now circle these and put those in the trash can. And then over here it says to do subtract 4. Ooh, I messed this one up really quickly here. Let me fix it. I needed to subtract 4. So if I create -4, how many 0 pairs would I have? I'd have 4 0 pairs. Let me draw that correctly. 4 0 pairs, giving us a final answer of 4 1 tiles. Okay, so the correct answer for that one should have been 4. Number 2, again, this is a multiplication problem. We needed to multiply 8.5 times 5 3/4. So using a rectangle is a recommended way to do this, unless you have another way. 8 times 5 is 40. 1/2 times 5 is 5 halves. 8 times 3/4 is actually 6. And then 1/2 times 3/4 gives us 3/8. Adding this all up, we get 40 plus 6 is 46. Making like terms here, sorry, not like terms, but common denominators, we're going to get 23/8. And adding those up, we get 48 with a remainder of 7. So correct answer, 48 7/8. I'll give you a moment to write that down if you did not write it down yet. Again, remember, this is a video that will be posted on Google Classroom, so if you do not have all your notes, you can pause and continue and skip problems when you watch this again at home. Okay, we're gonna go on. Number 3. Number 3 is division. Remember, it's 2 divided by 99, not 99 divided by 2. So if you did it correctly, we'll get a repeating answer of 0.020202. Remember, there has to be a bar at the top to show that the 020202 is the number that repeats. All right, for letter B, the answer should have been 0.6, and it's a terminating number. Again, it says, please write down if it's terminating or repeating. So we have to do that. All right, number 4. Number 4 says Barbie runs 4.7 kilometers north, or to the right, or up, it's okay, and turns around and runs 5.42 in the opposite direction. How far is she from her starting point? Again, this one asks us to write as an addition problem. So we need to do plus, minus for this problem right here. If you subtracted correctly, you're going to get negative 0.72, but remember that distance is always positive. Our final answer would be the absolute value of this negative number, which is 0.72 kilometers from her starting point. Okay, number 5. Remember, number 5 is just a GEM-DOTS problem asking us to simplify. And what comes first, multiplication or addition? Yeah, multiplication comes first in the order of operations. So if I multiply those two numbers, I get 2. 8 times 5 is 40. And then if I add all 3 of these numbers, I'll get the correct answer of 36. All right, last problem here is number 6. Remember, this is a multiplication problem. Since we're fundraising, there's going to be a lot of sales. 5 students sold 12 tickets at $3.25 each. So multiply those 3 numbers. 4 students sold, 4 students each sold 3 tickets at $3. So we're going to multiply that, those 3 numbers. Next up, we're going to go ahead and solve this one a little bit more detail. What's 12 times 5? 12 times 5 is 60. What's 4 times 3? 4 times 3 is 12. Now, if we multiply by the ticket prices, we're going to get our answer. 60 times 3.25 was 195. 12 times 3, that's a good one to do in your head. 12 times $3 was 36. And adding them correctly, we get $231. Okay, I'm going to show the answer key one more time just for version number 2 and version number 1. So make sure that you have this in your notes and on your test if you're taking notes on your test. Here's version 2. And here is version 1. All right, everybody, I'll post this on Google Classroom, and you will be able to pause, skip, rewatch, try to study as much as you can before the quiz. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your day.